Welcome to Against Parental Guidance, the podcast. A podcast about the media we saw when we were too young. Remember that movie, game or album your parents told you was strictly off limits? The one that felt like a dangerous secret? Well, every week I talk to a fellow creator and content maker about those informative moments. We explore how being exposed to content before we were ready didn't just entertain us, it profoundly shaped us. Our sense of humours, our perspectives, and our art we make today. I'm MostlyKarl and welcome to Against Parental Guidance. Today we've got Gothapie on to talk about her experience watching something when she was too young. Straight to the podcast!
Hello, my name is Gothapie, and I am a horror streamer, and I do most of my stuff on Twitch.
Same, is it twitch.tv/Gothapie? Same as the...
Yes.
No
Sorry.
numbers. The numbers. No, I always get annoyed by the numbers when they go, oh, this 336 at the end, and you're like, oh.
No, I am very happy that I had a name that was easily just without numbers. And a lot of people are like, oh, these numbers. And I'm like, mine's no numbers. Woohoo.
Yeah, well, I was talking about with a couple of people. I was like, nobody wants my username, so I'm pretty safe. Tends to be pretty decent on the safety side of stuff. So I say the whole point of the podcast is to talk about media that people are probably were too young to play or see or be involved with in whatever way. And the one you want to talk about was COD. I'll start with COD, and we'll...
Yeah, so my brother and I used to play Call of Duty Zombies a lot, and it was the one from World at War. I think we hit Black Ops 1 was out, so we started playing that one as well. And my brother and I played it daily. And I don't know why, but it was driving my mother nuts. She was like, "You're too young, it's gory, like we need to get out of this." I was when that came out.
What were you? Sorry, it broke up for 2 seconds there.
Oh, I was trying to remember what year Black Ops 1 came out.
2000 Black Ops 1. Oh, well, the World of War came out. I already Googled this just in case. World of War came out in 2008. Black Ops 1. Go to Google it. Black Ops. It'll just be called Black Ops, won't it? It came out in 2010.
2010? Okay, so dang. That was what? I was
14 years ago.
I was in 8th grade to sophomore year of high school.
Jeez, I was like a full grown up. I'm 20 at this point. When that game came out, I was like 20. So like, I forget time keeps continuing. Like I had moved out, like I'd been living by myself for like 4 years at this point so when you said zombies, I was like, I remember that being, I was like a teen. I think I was like drinking a beer, playing it with friends, sort of thing. And you're like, well, mum didn't like me playing it. I was like, oh god, I'm old.
Yeah, so my brother's 4 years younger than me.
Oh.
And so she was just like, you guys are too young, you guys are playing it daily, like getting concerned. So in order to prevent us from playing this game that she thought we were too young for, she had us watch the zombie movie, Until Dawn? No. The one where they're at the mall?
Oh, Dusk Till Dawn? No, that's Dusk Till Dawn is the vampires. Is it Dawn of the Living Dead?
Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead, yeah.
Yeah, so she had us watch that movie to prevent us from playing this game, and my brother watched it. He got to the beginning of the movie, first zombie attack, where it was like little girl zombie attacked the main character's like husband, and he was like, "Nope, I can't do this anymore." Stop watching the movie. And then I finished watching it, and I looked at her, and I was like, "Do you have more of this? I would like to watch more." And she was just like, "What?" And so honestly, she accidentally made me fall in love with horror.
Yeah.
At that moment.
I think it's a common, like, it's either you get told that you're not meant to be watching this, and that pushes you more, like the rebelliousness of it, or they see it as a punishment, and it turns out that it's definitely not for a lot of people.
Yeah, it was so funny. I still don't understand why she thought making us watch a movie would prevent it, because we still kept playing the games. Um,
Yeah, the disconnect between movies and games is like really common for a lot of people. Like, I can happily watch a horror movie 50 times over and not be squeamish at all. And
mhm.
as I've gotten older, I don't really get scared in horror games, but I do get shocked more than anything else. And I don't get jump scared in games and movies, but I do in games. But it's because
Yeah,
it's not happening to me.
I can handle game gore better than I can handle movie gore.
Oh, that's so weird. That's like the opposite for me.
Yeah, I was watching like one of the Saw movies, and when they were like cutting some guy's head open, I like had to lay down because I was gonna pass out,
Yeah,
and I was just
I,
like, nope.
this Saw is always the one that I come back to, and I'm not saying it's not a horror movie because they are horror movies. They're just not my kind of horror movies because they're not. They're just there as like gore,
Yeah,
and that's what's putting people on edge. And I'm like, that's not really what I like.
yeah.
So,
I liked. I enjoyed watching The Ring. Which I really like that series. I haven't seen the newest one, which I know it's been out for a long time. I just haven't had a way of watching
like
it.
2010, or is it newer than that?
To be honest, it may be the one from 2010. So it's been out for 14 years too.
Yeah, there's
Dang.
the one with, is it 2010 or 2006? Is the one with she like was a comedic actor, and then she did it. Oh, who was in The Ring now? Oh great, now I'm gonna.
So the original Ring came out 2002. That had
Gosh,
Naomi Watts. It's the main lady. It looks like.
Naomi Watts. Yeah, I'm not even thinking of that. Oh, she's from King Kong.
Yeah.
Yeah, King Kong, 2002. God, I was 12 when this film came out. Like a literal child. What's that one? The Ring. I always get confused between The Ring and Grudge.
Yeah.
So
So there was the Ring, or Rings, which I didn't realize was that a sequel? Because there's the Ring too.
I think that might be a prequel. The Rings.
I don't think I've
Sarah
seen the
Michelle
Ring.
Gellar's in The Grudge. That's what I was thinking of. Does she count as a comedic actor? I guess she's in Buffy, which is a comedy.
Oh yeah, Daphne.
Yeah, and she plays.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
she's Scooby Doo. She's not. She's not Scooby Doo. She's in Scooby Doo. She doesn't play Scooby Doo. Uh, that's James James Gunn's first movie, Scooby Doo. So what you were saying? You like what made you go and play Call of Duty Zombies? Like,
um. So my brother really liked the World at War Wars multiplayer, or like how you can play the campaign with somebody.
yeah,
And this was before we played like online with other people. It was just him and I on the couch together playing on the Xbox. And then the zombies came out. I'm not good at shooting things that shoot back. And
ah,
so he was like, well, let's try this game mode. And I was like, okay. And I was, better at it a little bit. And by a little bit, I was completely terrible. I think we played the theater map. Is it Kino der Toten? Uh, I died 64 times, and
oh,
like,
that's a good memory for remembering that though.
yeah, it was a lot of deaths. I died 64 times by like round 20, and and my brother was like, "Why do you keep dying?" I was like, they had the ballistic knives, which is like the two knives, and then like they shoot out at the zombies or however they worked. And if you like upgraded them with the pack-a-punch thing, you could revive a teammate by shooting them with the knife with the quick revive also as like part of your perks.
Yeah, yeah.
So he would be at like the top of the theater, so he would like teleport and he would be up there because zombies wouldn't get him, and then he would shoot it at me, who would die on the stage because I would just run circles on the stage all the time. And so he kept doing that, and so he'd get me up, which was great, but then all the zombies would just like, they would leave me for like a second because I was dead, and then they would all come back, and then he was like, why'd you die again? I was like, give me no chance to live. What do
Yeah,
you mean?
you've awakened me back in the middle of an absolute hellhole. Uh, so how do, like, because it's a 50. How old were you when this game came out?
Let's see, 2010. I would have been 15 or 16.
15, because it's a 15 the game. In the UK we use the same as DVDs, so ours is PG 15. We don't use the PEGI system as much. So
Okay.
it's a 15, which is like your
I think for
17.
us was rated M for 17.
So yours is like a 17 game, and I was like a 15 because they're like, oh, Brit kids can handle this. Is just day to day life for them. Zombies are normal. Yeah. So like, how did you end up playing a game that's like an M17?
My dad was a gamer, so
Ah,
like he would have games, but he worked full time, so he wasn't able to play them a lot. So then like my mom would be like cleaning or cooking or something, and then we'd just be like, "Oh, this game looks cool," not paying attention to anything.
yeah.
Um, which like one of them, my dad was like, he looked at me, he's like, "You cannot play this Fable game." And I was like, "But why?" And he was like, "You're not old enough." But I can, sit and watch my dad play this entire game, um, and be fine, I guess. And I think Fable came out in what, 2005,
Yeah, it's no like
2004.
2005, something of that nature. Yeah,
So I was like 10
yeah.
when that
I don't even
came
know what
out.
Fable. I don't know what age Fable is.
I want to say it's maybe PG-13.
Fable. Fable 1, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Age rating. Here we go. Google it. Oh, it says 12 to 18 because obviously it depends on the country. So it's between. It doesn't tell me specifically what.
I'm gonna assume we have a higher age.
Yeah, you guys seems
Um,
to be a bit more like protected, which is. I always wonder, was like, is that good or bad? Like, it's hard to really say.
and they always say like those ratings are more like guidelines for parents to know what
Oh, in the
is in
US,
it.
it's M3, M12, M13, something like that. Mature 13.
Okay,
So
so it's like a 13 up. So it
yeah,
wasn't like
you went miles out though.
too
Yeah,
bad.
but
But I think it was like the possible sexual content in the game, and then the like good versus evil thing. Because I grew up with a religious household, so they were just kind of like when things had that major like good versus evil split. They're like, oh, they're just trying to promote like the devil, and I was like, I don't
mm,
think that's the case. I think they're just showing you, you make a decision and there's consequences to it, whether
yeah,
good or bad.
I think that might be the difference here as well. Because although like in the UK, kind of we don't really acknowledge religion as much now. It's sort of like I've talked to, obviously with the podcast, I've talked to a lot of Americans through it, from like CEOs, and they're like, "Oh, I had a religious background," and you're like, "Oh, like it's so relatively uncommon here." Like you might go to Sunday school. I didn't, but you might go to Sunday school, but it has no bearing on the rest of your life. You just really just sort
I,
of
I got kicked out of Sunday school, to
you
be
got kicked. I
honest.
got kicked out of RA. That's the best I got. I didn't go to Sunday school. Sunday schools are very rare around here as well. So there's like for every normal school, there might be, well, for every 10 to 15 normal schools, one of them might be religiously orientated. And it's super rare.
Oh,
So
well, I didn't know
it's,
that.
yeah, it's,
I was raised Irish Catholic, so they had like a Wednesday class, and
yeah.
I had too many questions.
Obviously, Ireland is like not that far from me, and they're still relatively religious over there. So it's it's one of these things where I think it's just part of the culture. They're dropping, but our percentage is in the single digits now of religiously oriented people, especially
Hmm.
Christians. Whereas, like, I think they're still in the double. But
Yeah,
it's
I'm kind
it's
of glad because, like, even though my parents were religious, like, I was still able to watch Harry Potter and stuff because I know, like, some
that's
people out here couldn't.
Yeah, that's so well. So I don't know if this happened in America. It probably did. I'm guessing. We have a toy store in the UK called The Entertainer, and it's a Catholic owned toy shop, and they don't open on a Sunday. That's the like earmark for them, that you can tell that they're church owned, and didn't let you sell Harry Potter stuff, and they've only started selling Pokemon.
Oh,
Yeah, because both of them, they don't sell Pokemon cards either. Because they see that as gambling. And then I think he might be 70 Adventist, something of that nature. But yeah, they don't do Pokemon cards because that's gambling. And
I
they
went.
to this day they do not sell Harry Potter stuff.
I went to this. I think it was Christian-owned store out here, and I found a really pretty set of Lord of the Rings books, and I was so confused. I was like, "Why is the Lord of the Rings like in this store?" Because I knew like Harry Potter and stuff wasn't allowed. So I was like, "Why Lord of the Rings?" But I guess there was like, Tolkien had some. I don't know if there was like religious influence in the books, or he was religious, and they were like,
I
"He's fine."
He's like, I don't. He's one of these things where he's like religious, but like not. He never.
Yeah.
It's not like Narnia, which is like an actual retelling of the Bible or anything of that nature. I think he just was because everybody was at the time, right?
Yeah.
Did you when you were playing the game? Was it like it wasn't? Oh, I guess it wasn't a hide thing. I was gonna ask, did you have to like hide the fact you were playing it? Like when you got found and then you got shown all the movies, did you like have to like play the game in
So
secret or
for
watch movies in secret?
no, for the zombie game, my mom showed us. My brother didn't like the movie. I did. And then I think we just didn't play it for like a week, and then a week later we're like, "Hey mom, are we like banned from this game?" And she was like, "No, I was just hoping it'd make you like too scared to play it." And we're like, "No, we just want to go back to playing like our favorite game because it was the game I bonded with my brother." And so she kind of was just like, "I wish you didn't," but she let us continue. And she did have a conversation about like real life versus video games to make sure that we like understood the difference between reality and games. But that was kind of it with that. I did get in trouble for playing Fable.
You got in trouble for playing Fable.
Yeah.
That's so weird that you didn't get properly in trouble. You got semi in trouble for playing COD.
I think with COD we were like open about it, and with Fable, my dad was like, "Hey, like you're not old enough." And I was like, "Okay." And then I was like, "Well, he thinks I'm not old enough, but I think I'll be fine." And
Yeah.
then I played it, and my dad was like, I think there was also a difference between parents, because my mom, she's more of a she'll communicate with you about it, and if she feels like you understand where she's coming from, she like trusts your judgment too. Whereas my dad was just like, I told you no, and you did it anyways, so here's your punishment. So I just got grounded from games for a bit, and then I didn't touch it until he said I was old enough, and now it's one of my favorite game series.
I never played it. It's one of these games that just sort of passed me by. I think I was playing Oblivion because
Oh,
they came
Oblivion
out
was
around
good.
about the same time.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't want to play that. What? Because the covers make it look like I don't play that baby fantasy game. I want to play this one where there's like consequences. There's obviously consequences in Fable. I didn't know that at the time, but like it felt a lot more real to me. Um,
Yeah, it does have a cartoonish look, but I think it kind
yeah,
of fits.
it's stylized, which I'm all for now. But at the time, I think I was like a lot of people, like I want a realistic looking game, and Oblivion had that a bit more than Fable did.
Yeah, I didn't play Oblivion until like a couple years after Skyrim came out because I played Skyrim a lot.
Yeah,
And then I was just like, I want to play the other Elder Scrolls series. So then I went to GameStop and got Oblivion.
it's like a rougher game I find, but it's still a good game.
Oh my gosh, I thought it was hilarious. You could level up your jump, so you could like just jump over people.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
what
I
game is
wonder why
to
they got
level
rid of
up?
that. Wonder why they got rid of that. There's some weird. Just in general, all the Bethesda games just get weirder and weirder. And like, if you want to play them really straight, you can. But if you want to play them stupid, you can do that too.
Oh, they're
So
so fun.
yeah,
I
well,
like the fact that it's open world too, because Fable is kind of open-ish world where
hmm,
you have like set storyline, like you have the set storyline and like side quests, but they're not like crazy like Skyrim is because you only have like you can go to this town or this town and yeah, you can walk to them, but like you like shortcut loads, so you're not like walking long
yeah,
distances.
like well, that's the thing. Like um, the this thing with Skyrim is like it is so open world that I've played that game. I've owned that game 4 times, different consoles. I've had it on the 360, the PlayStation 4, the PC, and then I've got twice on the PC, and I've never done the plot. I've never done the actual story of Skyrim, which is just terrible, I'm sure. But I've just never. I'm like, I don't really need to. There's enough
I've
going on.
done part of the storyline and then I just stopped and I was like, side quests! And then
Yeah,
I was like, there's too many, I can't do the main
that's
storyline yet.
every time I go and do the storyline. I see I'm going to finish the storyline. I never do because I just end up doing the random stupid jobs. I decided to do all the colleges one time on Skyrim. That was like,
Oh, goodness.
yeah, it didn't take that long. I did it when I first started streaming. I said I would do it for that, so I did it. I think it was like, oh, if I get 100 viewers, I'll do every college. 100 followers, I'll do every job, every career college in Skyrim for like 100, and I did them all. And it doesn't some of them are just dumb. Like you do the bard quests.
Mm-hmm.
And it's literally go get a loot. You got to go find a loot. It doesn't tell you where this loot is. You just got to find a loot. That's or like a flute or a drum. And you've got to just find one. Uh, so which is like I think that's another reason. I keep watching people stream Boulder Gate, trying to convince
Mm-hmm.
myself I'm going to like it, and I just keep going. I don't like this game. Why don't you just go play Skyrim? But I think that's nostalgia as well.
I've played a little bit of Baldur's Gate with some friends, but then the friends like never got back on it,
Mm.
like with the same group of people, so I haven't touched it since. But I also just recently got into D&D too, and I was
Yeah.
like, there's a lot going on, like there's a lot on the screen. I usually go through the settings before playing a game, and there was just so many settings, and I was just like, I am very overwhelmed.
I think that I always compare it because I make a big deal about the fact that I don't like the look of Baldur's Gate. The top view, not the conversations, they're fine. But then I have a different problem with that. But the top view, I always say it looks too much like World of Warcraft because there's just so much stuff going on the screen. There's just like
Yeah.
these this big row of buttons on the bottom, and I just like a nice, neat looking
I think
thing.
I usually avoid top-down games too. Like I've
I
been playing V Rising a little bit with my cousin, and that one's top-down as well, and I'm
yeah,
just like, ugh.
I don't mind playing them if they stay top down or um so like or they have a system in place to make it make sense. That I think again the problem I have with Boulder Gate is it starts top down, and then when you go to talk to somebody, it gives you like this high graphic, high detail, over the shoulder shots,
Mm-hmm.
and then it goes back. Whereas like at least with I'm trying to think of a game, City Skylines, all the stuff maybe they pop up on the screen, or somebody will like save the characters that you're playing against pop up on the screen, but the map is still there. And like that's my problem with it is it reminds me too much of like Fallout 2, which is now nearly a 30-year-old game with the sudden zoom into people.
Yeah. Oh, and it's like Baldur's Gate looks like they put so much work into their environment, and then like so I have glasses because I can't see things far away, so everything's really tiny for my eyes.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to enjoy the environment you made,
Well,
but it's so far
that
away.
that was the other thing is like I found somebody was playing it on stream and I print screened it and sent it. I was like, if you point to me where the characters are, because the characters blended way too much into the background. Uh,
Oh,
yeah, and like I don't have color blindness, but my dad is like heavily colorblind. And I'm always like, could my dad play this game? Like, and my dad's
oh,
he's always been colorblind.
I wonder if they have a setting for that.
They don't.
Oh, I'm surprised.
Yeah, you can get a silhouette, but that doesn't help because he's also like got like early onset cataracts and stuff like that. So it's one of these things where he's like, none of it's gonna help.
Um,
It's obviously he probably wouldn't play the game anyway, but I always think, could a colorblind person play this game? You kind of think about these things when it
yeah, I was
affects somebody.
playing a game that someone was like, "Hey, the dev wants like some opinions on it," um, and so I played it, and the whole game was like in red, and it was like a color stylized choice. And I was like,
Yeah.
"I get that," but I was like, "But you should put a setting because some people are colorblind
Mm.
to like the color red," and I was like, "I don't have it, so I don't know what it's gonna look like." But you may want to also do like a grayscale version where you can
Yeah.
control like the shadows and stuff at least
Well,
in case.
there was a game that I played where you could pick the foreground background color. I can't remember what it was. It was an indie game, but all the game was like sandy colored.
Hmm.
But they had a mode where you could go, right, I want the background to be purple, and I want the. You could be really specific about it as well. It was just color pickers.
That sounds nice.
It was good. It was good of them. So like, obviously, you still play games.
Hmm.
Has the playing Call of Duty Zombies affected your like view on gaming, or like your play style? You say that you don't. Are you better at shooting people that shoot back now, or?
A little bit. So I play Valorant now.
Well, that's very
um,
people shoot back at you. Yeah.
yeah. I'm getting better at like winning fights. I'm the type of person that likes to sneak up behind you and get you when you're not paying attention, or
Uh,
I'm the person in the corner who has the shotgun. Um, but for
you're
like,
like the opposite of me.
I want to say Call of Duty Zombies was like my start on scary games.
Yeah.
Um, And then I spent a period of watching a bunch of YouTubers who like mainly play scary games, and I was like watching it, and I was sitting there, I was like, these are terrifying. I could never play them. And then I had a friend, I think they were like, you should play Phasmophobia, and I was like, no. And they're like, you'll be fine. No.
Yeah.
And at the time, I had a black cat, Alistair, and he all black cat and glowing eyes. I was playing Phasmophobia in the dark. I had connected my TV to like this tiny little tablet that I had the game on. So I was using like the tablet's keyboard to play and the TV to like watch it. And so completely dark room, just sneaking around on ghosts. And then my cat was running at me because he got the zoomies. It scared the crap out of me.
Have you played Alien? That's kind of like
I
the Alien
have it.
Isolation game.
It's on my playlist, to be
It is.
honest.
It's up there as one of my favorite, but it is very much a sneaking game. You sneak around.
Oh, that's gonna be fun. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
the Outlast trials because it's a lot of sneaking around and trying not to
I
get
haven't played
caught.
that yet.
It's
I,
a lot of fun.
I'm sure. I never because I haven't played Outlast, and I have this thing about completing
Hmm.
everything. Like I'm watching Dragon Ball Z at the moment. No, I'm not. I'm watching Dragon Ball at the moment. For a lot of my people in my community are like, "Oh, watch Dragon Ball, watch Dragon Ball." You can just start at Dragon Ball Z. That's the better season. And I'm like, oh, but I have to watch Dragon Ball first. Even there's 250 episodes, I have to watch it. I can't just skip it.
Yeah, I watched. My dad played a little bit of the first Outlast game. He rage quit because my brother and I put it on the insane difficulty, which is where if you die, you restart the whole game.
The whole game,
Didn't
yeah.
tell him, so he just thought that's how the game was. So he rage quit that one because he kept dying in the same spot, and it was like an hour or so into the game, and he was just like, "I know we're almost done." And then my brother and I were like, "Should we tell him?" And we're like, "Nah." Um, but that one I tried to play by myself, and it gave like chase scenes gave me a lot of anxiety, and I don't know
Yeah.
if like the zombie game because you're constantly getting chased, so it makes you like paranoid and like checking behind you all the time. If like that did nothing for me to help me with chasings, to be honest.
No, yeah, chase scenes are like. I think that's the other thing. Alien doesn't have. It has a little bit of chase scenes, but like nothing major. They feel perfectly fine chase scenes because you're being chased by something that you can tell is just dumb. But the alien, if it spots you, you literally just lay down and that's it. There is no there is no finding the alien. You're just a goner.
Yeah, I think well-made chase scenes are really good. There's some
Yeah.
games where they make a chase scene and it's like, I think Joyville, you are in a chase scene and you have to pay attention to the wall in this tunnel to get these numbers for this keypad. You have to put the numbers in while
Oh
you're still
yeah.
getting chased. And I'm like, I got so frustrated redoing it. I was like, if the chase scene makes me so angry, I'm no longer scared. Like it ruins the whole game for me at that point. And
Yeah.
I'll still suffer through it because I like want to complete that chapter, that game. But I'm just like, can we not have this much happen while I'm run? Just let me run.
Like if you found obviously like if that stuff happens, I just go chat. Get these numbers down for us, please. Do you find that it's easier to play horror games when you're streaming them?
Uh, yeah. I don't think the only horror games I've played like off stream are like multiplayer ones, and they're with
Yeah,
friends.
with people. So it's
Um,
always with somebody, even if they're somebody that not they're not with you literally or even over the internet.
yeah.
They're like somebody's with you.
Which like zombies, I would I guess technically play by myself because I would like go in the online thing, and back then like I wouldn't talk to anybody because no one really chatted on internet games.
Even now, like I remember other than playing with friends, like I'd go on play the Modern Warfare. That was the code that I played. Modern Warfare, you'd go and play online, and nobody was in VC unless you knew them. So you just 10 people in absolute silence.
There was one game. My brother convinced me to like practice multiplayer games. So we were playing that, and he was sitting and watching me, like trying to help me do better because my KD at that point was like 0.22.
Oh, mine
Like
is probably now.
I'd die 20 times before I get one person.
Yeah.
And so we were playing, and then the guys in like the game were like yelling at me and stuff and like being super rude. I mean, it's called lobbies. And
Oh yeah.
so my brother was like, "You want to mess with them?" And I was like, "Yeah." So I gave him the controller, but then I stayed on the headset.
And you see it on the VC, yeah.
And they were like, "What the just happened?" And this one guy was like, "No, no, no. That was a you got lucky. Let's like play one versus one." And so my brother killed him, and he didn't die once in the 1v1. And this guy was like, "What the fuck happened?" And I was like, "Maybe you should be nicer to girls. I was just warming up. I don't know what your problem is."
That
It's
guy's probably
so
got a
funny.
complex. That guy like still thinks about it this day. He's like that one girl in COD kept shooting
It
me
was
over and over
like
again.
an adult male, and I was like 15. So I
Yeah,
put my brother at like 11, and I was just like, "Dang, you just let an 11-year-old kick your butt." Like,
yeah. It's like I play a bit of Overwatch when it's like just downtime with friends and stuff like that. And I'm always
mhm.
a tank because I don't think. I just start doing, which works real well for a tank. Uh,
Overwatch is hard.
it is hard, but
I've
nobody's
played
might.
it twice.
Everybody's muted on there as well. You got the thing with Overwatch is it's like you got to find the character you gel with, which is
hmm
its best point and its worst point is because like for a new player there is 20 plus characters, and working out which one you're good at without somebody being there and be like, I know what you're like. You need to play this character. Makes it so hard.
I played it for the first time with Days and Days,
Yeah.
and he was just like, "Yeah, you just pick a character," and then like the whole team was just in the same Discord, so I think that helped. And they're like, "Just
Yes.
try somebody, and like we'll fill, and we'll just like try to keep you alive." And I was like, "Okay." Doing my best. So it was nice that I got to try people that way.
Yeah.
And then I played with another friend, so it was just two of us. And he was like, "Yeah, just play whatever, and then I'll just fill in where needed." I was like, "Okay, cool." But then I had like people like yelling at me. They're like, I was trying not to be a healer because I know I have a habit of picking healer, and
Mm.
they always joke. My friend was just like, "You're gonna pick Mercy, the healer, aren't you?" I was like, "No, I'm gonna
Yeah.
pick
Mercy's like
this
just a
person."
healer.
And then turns out that I'm kind of okay at Mercy.
Oh
And I was
yeah,
like, damn it.
yeah. Like she just sort of floats around healing people. That's the.
I had
She's a good player, but she's not like she couldn't kill somebody. Like, not
I
really.
can't fly with Mercy to save my life, so I just run
No, it's
around.
so hard. Anybody who's good at flying with Mercy, I commend them. Cause
Yeah, they're insane. Like when I use this special ult ability, that's when I can fly, and I'll just go straight up, and
yeah,
I'll just stay up.
we play when we're playing it. There's like a waiting period to play a game, and they have these games that people make now that you can play in the waiting period. And one of
Hmm.
them is like trying to teach you how to fly like with a Mercy, and anybody who can fly with a Mercy properly is just
It's
beyond
crazy.
me. Yeah. No, I just play Roadhog because I always end up playing the character who is a tank and kind of looks a bit like me. So I'm like, oh, Roadhog looks, I wanted to be a Reinhardt man because he's like big and has a big beard, but
Hmm.
I was not very good at him, and now he's just a bit rubbish. He's been nerfed to Kingdom Come.
Yeah, I like
So
playing the Reaper.
Reaper's good. When I do play DPS, I have to be Reaper because it's the only one I'm good at. I need to be able to heal myself because I don't trust anybody else. It's the same with everything. I'm like, I don't want to wait for anybody else to do stuff. I'll just start doing it myself.
I like that he can like disappear and run
Mm,
away from a fight if he needs to
yeah,
dip, and I'm
that's
just like,
there's a good
bye.
couple of characters that like Reinhardt. That's why I like playing Reinhardt is because if you're in a bind, you can use his like jetpack to fly away. Well, not fly away, but like run away.
Hmm.
But with Roadhog, you can heal like you get a drink, like a potion drink, and that heals you as you sort of run around trying to run away.
Oh, that sounds nice. I play Sage sometimes, who's a healer in Valorant, and it drives me nuts because you have to be able to look at your teammate and then a little symbol shows up when you're holding the ability to heal them,
Yeah,
and people will be on like the other side of the map being like, heal me, and I was like, sure, but you need to come here because
you need to
I'm
be
in the middle
closer.
of trying not to die right now.
Yeah, I
And
tried to play
then
Valorant.
I love it.
It's
It's
good.
terrible, but it's great.
I think it's because it's too much of an even playing field, and I'm not. I can't catch up because people have been playing. Like, I might get 3 hours a week in if I'm lucky of gameplay. That's not streaming.
Hmm.
So that's not. And then other people are playing 3 hours a day, if not more. So
Yeah, it's a problem for me. I think I play it daily at this point. But like, one of the friends that taught me how to play it, we went into customs, and they were like, "Okay, so this is what we're gonna do," and we basically kind of did the Call of Duty gun game. We like started on like the store layout on one
mm,
side, and we just went down, and once you got a kill, you had to die to open the shop back up to buy the next gun, but we just kind of like went through it so that I could like understand the guns better. Um, and then there's a game mode that lets you put on cheats so you can switch agents every round if you wanted to. And
yeah,
so when I've had friends be like, "Hey, I want to learn," I was like, "Okay, like we'll turn cheats on and you can get a feel for like who you like better." And it really does help.
yeah.
I
There's a in Overwatch. There's like a gun game esque game where every time you kill somebody, you go to a random character, so you can kind of work out what character you like playing.
Cool, I didn't even know
That's in the new, yeah, it's in Overwatch 2, which is free. And that's not a plug. Not sponsored by
that.
Overwatch.
Yeah,
Um,
we're not sponsored here, not
Not
yet.
yet. Come on. I'm pushing for Shudder to
Oh,
sponsor
that'd
me.
be good.
Just in life. Just I want them to sponsor everything that I do.
I think one of the sponsors, which I think would be hilarious to have, would be Depends, the diapers. Just as like a horror gamer, just be like, hey, if this video scares you, wear these.
Yeah. Adult diaper company.
Oh, that'd be so funny. Um, but oh, so we were talking about The Ring earlier.
Yes.
And so that was one of my favorite movies growing up after I watched it for the first time because so, and I don't know if all kids did this, but you ever like run up the stairs on like all fours because it just felt faster growing up?
You say kids, I literally do that now. Like I still do that.
Okay, I still do, but
Look, it's fine. It is faster. I cannot be convinced otherwise.
So younger me had really long dark hair, and that's how I ran up the stairs every morning to like get dressed for school, and scare the crap out of my mom because like the top of the stairs was kind of open, and my mom would like leave the bathroom door open so like us kids can go in and brush our teeth while she was getting ready. So she would just see that just running up the stairs every morning, and she was like, "I need you to stop. You're scaring me. You're scaring your brother sometimes just running up the stairs like that, just because you see something like fast and dark moving." And so she made me watch The Ring to get me to stop doing that. It didn't work.
Everything that your mum's trying to stop you doing is I've got a film for that. Is that your
Basically.
answer? Like I'm gonna. This is me when people are talking about films. I'm like, oh, there's a film that's this. Uh but yours is like punishment, and mine's not.
It was just so funny. She had me watch it, and I was like, "Yeah, that's terrifying." Next morning, just crawl up the stairs again, and she was just like, "Why?" And I was like, "Well, now I have a goal.
Yeah,
Before I was just being me."
because
um,
it's faster. I'm telling you.
but like her using horror movies to like teach me to not do things. I thought she didn't like scary movies. It turns out I was very wrong. She really loves horror movies.
Well, that makes sense because
Um,
she wouldn't own all these horror movies if she
yeah.
unless
So
she
like that was cool.
yeah. Like now, because like me and my dad, he comes up in this podcast hopefully a lot, but he was the one that sort of introduced me to horror movies, accidentally, sort of, and like, he didn't, he said, don't watch this film, don't watch that film, but simultaneously he was like, and now, even when I got to like 15, he's like, have you seen this film? It was a very quick turnaround of him giving up on not to watch films. Um, because so he used to work for a cruise ship, a big cruise company,
Mhm.
like a not like a like a uh, one where you'd go on for 2 weeks, 3 weeks as a holiday sort of thing. And they had, when you're in between ports, you could do one of two things as a kid. Oh well, one of three things in the end. They had an arcade that was always full of kids. They had a
Mhm.
cinema, but it wasn't like a kid cinema. It was just a normal cinema. There was a kid cinema, but it was a TV. It was dog poo. Um, so they had a proper cinema, and next to the cinema was a library. So the only places I would ever be was the cinema and the library. So I saw like Alien and I like 11 and stuff like that. So
Oh,
films that I should never have watched, I've seen way too early. And that was I think that was why my dad was like, it's sort of my fault that he's seen all these films. So
I'm trying to think of the first movie I watched that like actually terrified me was Insidious. I haven't seen it since. And it wasn't like my mom trying to prevent me from doing anything this time. It was just like my mom was just like, "Hey, this movie came out. You want to watch it? Spooky." And I was like, "Sure." I watched it, and I was just like, "Nope."
is
I
is
am. Uh,
is Insidious the one with Darth Maul?
yes. To be honest, I watched that movie between my fingers. Didn't realize he looked like Darth Maul
He
until
looks
like
like
a little bit
yeah.
later.
Uh,
um,
yeah, he looks like that. The problem we had in the UK is that scene was the the scene that everybody talks about, the one where he does the jump scare at the end.
mm-hmm.
That was in the trailer in the UK. So all the good scares were taken, like they were
I
just
hate when they do that.
yeah wasted.
Um, I don't like grandfather clocks. My grandma has one
Oh
at the end of her hall next to the bathroom door. So after watching that movie and it had a grandfather clock in it, it made that fear worse. I don't know what started the grandfather clock problem, but now when I see them in games and stuff, I'm like, I hate you. This is bad
yeah,
omen. I'm gonna die now.
like
I just, mm-mm.
Evil Dead has a grandfather clock. Ghost Ship has a grandfather clock. I'm just naming films that you shouldn't watch. Then, uh, yeah, they're the two that I can come off the top of my head. There's a lot though. They do use grandfather clocks in a lot of
Yeah, it's like a secret staple of horror stuff, and
yeah.
I don't mess with that. um, but yeah, that one really scared me for a bit. Another movie that my mom let us watch it, but we had to kind of beg her to watch it, and it was the Lord of the Rings series.
Okay. That's a weird one to stop you. I saw that the last one in like they took us in school to go in the cinema and see it.
Oh. So I think when that came out in what, 2002, the first one?
Yeah, the first one was 2002, then 2005, then 2007, I think, something like that.
Okay, so I was 2007. Hold on, I'm
No,
doing
it
some
couldn't be.
math.
It could have been. It must have been 2015 was one of them because it was the last year I was in high school. Because we go high school, college, university here.
Release.
Colleges and universities are two different things.
Wait, what are the differences? Hold up.
What in college and university?
Uh-huh.
So we go. You do. You get a diploma in college,
Mm-hmm.
and you get a degree in university.
What do you get at the end of high school?
GCSEs,
What does that stand for?
general something assessments. So you
Okay.
in school you can in school you for the first 3 years of um what we call comprehensive, you guys call high school. For the first 3 years you get told what to do. Then the
Mm-hmm.
next 2 years you have to pick your GCSEs, which are you've got no choice. You've got to do math, English, and at least two sciences. Unless you're a massive nerd, then you have to do three sciences. And I was a massive nerd, so I did three sciences. And then you get to choose your vocations. So I did what we call like A levels or diplomas in. I did a diploma in ICT, which is a college thing, but I did it in school because I was again a massive nerd. And I did textiles, which is graphic design,
Mm-hmm.
and I did something else. Can't remember now. It doesn't make a difference. And then, so your last 2 years of school is our college. College is would be is it like senior? Is senior year last year?
Yeah, it's the last year of high school.
And what's freshman?
The first year of high school, so
So there's
ninth
what? How many
grade.
years is between them?
So it's a total of 4 years, so 2 years in between.
Okay. So what's the one below the top, the last one, senior?
So that would be junior year.
So basically your junior and senior year is our college.
Oh,
So and then
interesting.
you get a diploma. I did 3 years in college because I was doing a advanced diploma, which is sounds more exciting than it is. And then I did university.
That sounds really like that's a really cool structure for
It
education.
it makes more sense because, well, for me it made more sense because in college I just did media production because that's all I knew that I ever wanted to do was make films. So I did media production in college. I didn't have to do English or math. I think we had to do English and math as like a half an hour in a morning on a Wednesday, and that's it. So that was it. That's the only English and math I did in college. And then in university, you just focus on one vocation because you've got like majors and minors as well, which
Mm-hmm.
confused the crap out of me. So, what, you don't just learn one thing? You're like, no, you've got to learn like at least two things. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
I think
So,
you can choose if you have a minor. Some people just do
oh,
majors.
just do majors. Okay, I just
Yeah.
always presumed because the only reference I have is like sitcoms and Gilmore Girls. So
Yeah, so like even out here, like depending on what state you're in, can change education stuff because I went to elementary school in Iowa, which is in the Midwest, and they had Spanish as part of the curriculum.
hmm
And then when we moved, um, went to a different school, and it was middle school at that point, at least for out here, and they charged extra for a Spanish class. Otherwise, you had to be in 8th grade to take like the Spanish 1-2 class. But
yeah,
then you had to pass your 7th grade reading class with a high grade and get recommended to take a language instead of another reading class.
Oh, we got forced into languages, which I have a problem with.
See, but
So
I think that's why people outside the US are better at learning multiple languages, is because it
I
seems like it's more part of the education.
I would agree, except we're forced to learn a second language, and none of us speak a second language. So in England, you have to choose, but well, you don't get to choose. You get told you're either learning French, Spanish, or German. Or if you go
Yeah,
to a
those
really
were the
fancy school, you get Latin. You go to a really nice one. So
high school you got to pick between the three.
yeah. Well, so I was like, I got forced into French, because like family history wise, I'm predominantly French. So they were like, oh, cool, I'll be able to learn it. And even me, who has French relatives who will talk to him, they refuse to speak to me in French because their English is better than my French.
How are you supposed to get better if you don't use it?
Like, it's because I always, because I talk about it on stream a lot, is the fact that I don't think in England we should learn a second language. I think we should learn BSL, British Sign Language, or ESL for you guys, American Sign Language. I think we
Oh,
should learn that instead of a language in the UK because of media, because of films and TV shows and movies and games. Um, most other countries will speak English really well, better than we can learn their language.
I actually learned some sign language in high school, and it wasn't because of a class. I took marksmanship in high school, which you just shoot little pellet guns. They're just CO2 powered.
Yeah,
Um, but we had a lot of downtime.
yeah.
So then our teacher was like, you guys can do homework, read a book. And then one of the girls in my class, she was like, I'm learning sign language because she had a member of the family that was deaf.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm always like I always say it because I have an uncle who was uh, deaf and he couldn't speak either.
Mm.
Um, we can't use its old term. I can't remember what it's called now, but he never learned how to speak. Deaf and mute. Sorry, there we go. So he. Oh, but that's why I always wanted to learn sign language. Uh, he could speak enough that I understood what he meant, but because some people would struggle learning what he was saying.
Yeah. That was cool that we were able, like, our teacher was like, go for it. And our instructor, who didn't like learn sign language, like, brought in some books from the library one day about learning sign language. And he was just like, so you guys were learning this last time. Here you go. He was a really awesome teacher. Um, but yeah, no, I agree. I think sign language should have been taught as well. Um, I picked, so we had the option in middle school between Spanish and French. And I picked Spanish because I had an uncle who spoke it. And I figured that, at least in the US, that's like the second
Well, that's what I was
most
going to say after
used.
that, yeah.
Which I found out a lot of people make this argument and complain. They're like, oh, like people need to learn English because they're in the US. And I Googled it. The US doesn't have an official language. So
No.
y'all
Yeah.
can suck it.
I like, that's the thing is like, I had an American on the stream before and they said, oh, I agree to an extent. And I said, like, at least if you learn Spanish, a lot of America speaks Spanish. Like,
Hmm.
like not, you know, the continent of America, not the US of A. Whereas we don't have that. Our nearest like language is Gaelic. No, it's not. It's Welsh. Um, so that is a language that's still relatively around, and most of them speak English. They'll speak English more than they'll speak Welsh. Yeah,
I would love to learn more. My brain just doesn't remember. I can barely. Sorry.
that's right.
Proving my own point, I can barely speak English.
Yeah,
I've used Duolingo to try to learn Russian. Gaelic is a pretty language. If I could learn how to speak that, that would be like the coolest thing ever.
well, my dad's Welsh French, so I'm learning Welsh. Uh, so that just as like a keep it alive. He doesn't speak any Welsh because they didn't teach it in school when he was around. They're sort of like reviving the language. So I'm like, I'll learn Welsh just to kind of as a nod to my heritage in a way.
The Gaelic's also an Irish language, isn't it? Like the Irish also.
Yes, Gaelic is it. Gaelic's kind of either the Irish or the Scottish language. It
Okay.
started off as the Irish one, and a lot of Irish people moved to Scotland when it was relatively desolate of people.
So,
And then it evolved a little bit
um,
in.
my dad said that we're about 75% Irish. So I get excited about things from Ireland.
Ireland.
I'm
Like
like, oh,
it's so funny because the Irish people don't. I always giggle the fact that Americans are much more fascinated with Ireland than Irish people are.
they're so cool.
They're just normal. They're like you could go to England or you go to Ireland and they're relatively like culturally well it depends. Northern Ireland they're relatively culturally very similar because we're so close and we just interchange so much. The only thing is with English people or Brits, as I don't call myself a Brit more than an English person, is we just do not care about like a history at all. When people ask people from Britain what they are, like historically, we just kind of say wherever we're born, city wise, or like we're raised even. So I always go,
Oh,
I'm from Newcastle, so I just say I'm a Geordie. That's the term for it. I'm Geordie. None of my family are from here. They're all moved over from both my grandmothers or French. My granddad's from Scotland, and my uh, dad's dad, my grandshare is Welsh. None of them are from England.
oh.
But I would class myself. My dad was born and raised in Wales. Just call myself British still. Just because for us it's a lot of where you were born as opposed to where your
Mm-hmm.
relatives are from.
Okay. Yeah, I was born from California.
There you go. So to us you'd be a Californian,
Yeah.
but I know that's not necessarily how it works over there.
It's funny though, cause like some people, cause they know like so I'm from the Midwest, or like I've lived most of my life in the Midwest,
Yeah,
and they'll like say negative things about California, and I'm like, hey there, hold up, and they're like, well, why are you offended? I'm like, cause I'm Californian. That's home state,
yeah.
my guy.
And even then, like if we lived somewhere, I have a close like a viewer, who's she's American,
Mhm.
and she's lived in Scotland so far that she's adopted the opinion that she's Scottish, and we just like we agree because that's if you lived more than like 10 years in a place, you're just from that place now. Like that's just how it is. So, like,
I think I think that's what starts a lot of problems is people are like, my ancestors come from here, and then it causes arguments, and I'm just like, I just live
yeah,
in this state right now.
I live here. Like, yeah, I think a lot of us, it's not the culture you're from, but the culture you're in that shapes the person more. Um,
Okay, I looked it up. Lord
oh,
of the Rings came out, the last movie, 2003. Not the Hobbit series, but just like the Lord of the Rings series.
Lord of the Rings, yeah. So I
Yeah,
was 13, so I would have been in year 8.
I was like 9.
Yeah.
So, um, the summer before we officially watched the movie series, my brother and I. So it would have been 10 when we actually watched it, which puts my brother at 6, and I think it was rated PG-13 in the US. My brother and I
Oh,
played a
triplets, yeah.
lot of the Lord of the Rings games. So we played the Two Towers, Return of the King. I think the Third Age was another one. There was like a computer like top-down game where you like try to conquer the land as either like dwarves or the orcs or whatever. We played a lot of the games, and so we went to our mom and we're like, "Hey, we would like to watch the movies. We've been playing the games." Didn't say anything about playing the games. She's like, "Well, I'm not sure." She was worried that my brother was gonna get scared about some of the monsters and have bad
But
dreams.
the orcs are, yeah, ugly as anything.
Yeah. So she finally said yes, and it was really funny. So my mom goes to put in the first movie, and she puts in the Two Towers, and it plays like a little bit of the intro. And my brother and I like, "Hey mom, stop the movie!" And she was like, "What? What's wrong?" And we're like, "You put in the second movie." And she was like, "How the hell do you know that? You've never seen them before." And I'm like, "Oh, like we've played the second movie's game a bunch." And it has little pieces of the
Yeah, it's
movie
got
in the
cutscenes in
game.
it. Yeah.
And so we like saw that and we're like, oh, I remember from this game. Yeah, that's not the first movie, Mom. So that's how we ended up watching Lord of the Rings. Is she realized that we've seen already most of it,
Yeah, like
so
a good
she was
chunk
just
of it.
like, okay, like he's 6, he's not 13, but like screw it at this point. Um,
Uh, yeah, it's PG-13 here as well. So it must have been one of the earlier PG-13s because we only introduced. I remember them introducing PG-13.
Such a good series.
UK PG-13. Yeah. Oh no, 12A. Sorry, 12A is our rating.
Okay, that's pretty close though.
Yeah.
I own, so I used to have all of the sim games, and I bought like some of the expansion packs on like eBay or something when eBay was more popular than like Amazon,
Yeah.
and I got a Canadian version of one of the games.
What? And that doesn't
'Cause
work.
it worked fine. It was just like the cover had the different rating. And so when I
Oh,
had
so
gotten it, my mom just stared at it for like a long bit. She was like, this doesn't look like this one. And I was like,
yeah.
yeah,
So they
'cause
used
they're
they used our. I think they
different.
use our rating system.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the drinking age in Canada?
I think Canada's lower. Um, maybe 19?
Ours is 18. 19 in Canada. That's so weird.
That's my I'm guessing, to be honest.
Yeah, increased their legal age from 18 to 19.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, it doesn't say why.
Ours is
They've bumped it up a years.
21.
21.
Yeah.
Like, ours is 18. And our driving is later than yours. You have to be 17 to learn to drive.
That's not too bad. I think one reason why ours is lower, something I was learning is if a kid could technically get their license younger if they live on a family farm.
Yeah, well, that's the same with ours. So we have, you can get a license at 17, excluding certain things.
Yeah. I was so like out here, so like the legal age to drink is 21. But then I also learned that like if you're at home with your parents, you could legally drink alcohol as long as they're not like getting you like
Like, drunk. Ours is
poisoned from
13
it.
for that. You can drink out at bars. It doesn't have to be at home. You can
It
drink
has to
out
be
at
at
a
home.
bar. Oh, ours is you can drink at a bar from the age of 13 with a meal with a
Ooh.
parent. You have to be eating, though. If you're not eating,
I
you're not drinking.
was in 8th grade when I accidentally had alcohol for the first time.
Did you accidentally? You were like,
So
in like
my
a
dad's
Disney movie?
no, my dad's best friend hosts a 4th of July party, and they had slushy machines. And there was an adult slushy machine and a kid one, but the sign
Ah.
for the adult one had fallen off, and I don't like blueberry, and the adult one was red, so I assumed it was like cherry. So then I got a lot. And my mom was just like, "Are you good?" I'm like, "I'm good." She's like, "What are you drinking?" And then, of course, my dad's best friend's wife, she was like, "Oh no, how many have you had?" And I was like three, like three solo cups. I
Oh,
don't.
Jesus.
And they were like, "Are you good? Do you feel sick?" And I'm like, "No, no, I feel fine. I didn't get sick." Um,
The
it was
sugar probably
interesting.
helped, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
The
and they
probably.
had a lot of food too, so
Yeah.
like it was absorbing a good amount. I do have to say, remembering being drunk at that age and being drunk now, there is no hangover, and I'm not condoning young kids to drink alcohol. Don't do it. Wait
No,
until you're old enough. But that
that's
was
a
an
good stance
interesting
to
time.
have. I don't like I say it's just if you in a safe space and your parents are there, because that's the legal thing here. So
Yes. Yeah, I had an old roommate whose girlfriend wasn't old enough to drink. And he was just like, oh, like, she can have, like, a beer with us. And I was like, ah. And he was
no
like, why not? And I
no
was
no
like,
no
I am legally obligated. If something happens to her here, it's it's not coming on me. So
yeah
you can do that at, like, your parents' house or whatever, just not in the same vicinity. He was not happy about that. He's like, you treated her like a child. And I was like, legally, she
she is a
is
child.
like a child. So, like, I'm just following the law.
Ah. It's such a weird. It's so thingy. It's like the only thing I agree with the drinking thing being 21 there is because that means you've got like what, like 5 years of driving over there before you can drink.
Oh my goodness. The
So
drinking and driving so dumb.
but then also like I think drinking driving numbers are higher in America. So I'm like, my theory just goes out the window.
I mean, I've seen some friends, unfortunately, drive under the influence. And, like, they weren't super, like, hammered. I don't think they should have been legally driving, but they weren't super duper hammered, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
they're not like blackout. Not gonna remember the next day.
Um, I don't get in the car if the driver is drunk. That's just I don't drink out in public very often, and if I do, it's like a shot or a hard cider and just like
Yeah,
one, and then I'm done. And then I'm like, I'll drive whoever needs a ride home. I'll bring you back to your car tomorrow. Like that's the type of friend I am, because
yeah.
I'd rather be the boring person who doesn't drink and knows that all my friends get home safe. Like that's fine with me, and I can be goofy without drinking, so like most of my
Yeah.
friends don't even notice.
Well, that's it. Like I started drinking. I stopped drinking. I was trying to lose weight, so I stopped drinking. That wasn't the easiest thing to do. So I'd get a half pint of Coke, and nobody really batted an eyelid. Like it looked like I was drinking because I was drinking a half pint of Coke, so people were thinking it's a vodka Coke. It was like a half diet Coke.
Hmm.
Nobody really batted an eyelid because it looks like I'm drinking, and I'm weird. So it was already like that's pretty normal. Like, Carl must be drunk, and I'm like, nope, Stone's Cold Sober. So it's
I drink Shirley Temples, which is
I have
just
no idea what I just drink beer, and that's
it
still
is
pretty rare.
7 Up and a cherry grenadine. Um,
Oh,
I
I
really
just typed in
enjoy
Shirley
them.
Temple and just the actress came up instead. No,
Oh yeah.
is that an actress? She an actress? Yeah, she's an actress. Yeah, okay.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Should sing
So
the animal crackers in my soup song.
I, I think she's very American. I don't.
I think so.
Animal crackers in my soup. What the
I
hell
grew
is
up
that?
watching her. It's just a she's like um she's in like this cafeteria place, and they're like eating soup, and she just starts singing. That's like one of the songs I remembered. Animal crackers in my
Oh,
soup,
she did
soup
Good
and
Ship
loop de loop.
Lollipop. There we go. There's one song I do know from.
Is she an American actress? I don't even
Yeah,
know.
she is.
I know it was in black and white from some.
1928 she was born.
Dang.
1932 was the first film she played. Uh, she was born in Santa Monica, California.
A.
They should have a little statue of her, a very little one. So that's what the British people do. It's like, oh, any actor is born in a town or a city, slap a big wood statue of them up.
Yeah, Shirley. So it's just like a cherry soda drink, and then a dirty Shirley. I think you add vodka to it. Um, it's like a cocktail. So the bar I go to often. So when they see me, they're like, "Oh, I'll make you a Shirley Temple." I'm like, "Yeah." But then one time, they were busy and they told the new person to make me a Shirley Temple, and they put vodka in it, and and it came back and they're like, "Are you good?" I'm like, "They put vodka instead of 7 Up." So like I was hammered.
You've absolutely wiped.
And they were like, "We're so sorry." And like they were worried I was gonna get super mad because they accidentally got me drunk. And I was like, "No, I'm good. I just need
Yeah,
someone to drive me home."
yeah, you're not on the A or anything like that. So.
But the place I go to, like, I've gone there like I think every Saturday for like 4 years. So I like knew a lot of the regulars and like trusted a lot. So I was able to like find a ride home easily.
Pretty decently enough.
Also, fun thing about ordering Shirley Temple in the U.S., not every bar knows how to make it. So if you ever want to see a confused bartender, you can always ask for Shirley Temple, and they'll just stare at all the
I,
alcohol.
I don't even know if we have them over here. Like, I'm sure they could make one if I explain what's in it, but like, I've never, I've never heard anybody ask for one.
I don't think people order it very often, but it's really funny watching the bartenders look at all the alcohol going, "What's in this drink?" And I'm like, "It's just 7 Up and grenadine." And they're like, "Oh, it's non-alcoholic." And I was
Yeah,
like, "Yeah, but delicious."
I used to drink Coke and grenadine as a kid, which just
Mm.
ends up tasting like cherry Coke that exists now. But this was before cherry Coke
You know, I
existed.
feel like the grenadine makes it taste different.
It does because obviously you control it, so it tastes more like grenadine than cherry Coke
Yeah,
does.
I
But
think it's better than cherry
it
Coke.
is, yeah. But my dad is adamant that he invented cherry Coke. So
Try it with 7 Up sometime and let me know what you
I just
think.
I like run a business that requires like syrups of that nature, and I've never seen grenadine. I just don't see it. It's not a bar, so maybe I'm just not in the right place. But never see grenadine. Don't know what happened to it. Somebody killed grenadine.
Damn, it's a
Damn.
sad day. No
R.I.P.
one's
grenadine.
No one's crushing cherries for their juice no more.
No, well, I don't see glacier cherries anymore either here. So they used to be everywhere in bars.
Yeah, they used to like pop them in the Shirley Temples too.
Yeah.
Just go bloop.
If you've just to wrap us up, if you could give advice to people, to your younger self, let's say, about playing mature games, what would it be?
I think I also would be more parental advice than young kid advice,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just open conversations to like if a kid really wants to play a game, like find out if there's things in the game you don't want your kid to play for a reason, say it's like the language, sexual content, the violence, it's just having an open conversation with them about it, about like why you think they should wait, and then hear them out if they have counters. Because I know as a kid, I did that a lot. I would counter my parents a lot.
Mm.
Um, and it's just kids are curious. They're going to want to learn things, they want the whys. And because I said so is not a good enough answer.
Yeah, my dad was very much he with he started watching. I say watching horror films, and I was like, I've seen quite a lot already. And he's like, his one thing was like, as long as I'm there or like at least in the house, like, and I'm talking real young. He's like, as long as I'm in the house, I don't care. Like, you're not gonna turn a backlight at, like, and know that you can't turn a nightlight on or stay up all night, which became a
Yeah.
different issue. But so because I got like massive insomnia, I was like, it's these horror films. I'm like, it's not. I've got it because you've got it. Like it's genetic. So I think that's the thing is like talking to parents
And then,
and the
like,
parent listening.
if you, like, end up saying yes to the kid and then, like, they watch a scary movie and it turns out it is too much for them, and don't be like, I told you, you shouldn't have watched it. Just be like, okay, like, this is your fear. Let's address it so that they have the tools. So when they do get scared of things as they get older, their fears will change. They'll know how to handle that feeling. And then you just make better kids out of it. I mean, it's all a learning experience for both parties.
Exactly. Have you got anything you want to plug?
Um, no.
No. Not your Twitch, Twitter.
Uh, if you like scary game reviews, I tend to do them once a week, normally on Tuesdays on Twitch.
Ah,
So if you just go to twitch.tv/gothypire, you'll find me.
there we go. And you're, I know you're on Twitter.
Oh
And
yeah, I'm Gothypire there. If you see Gothypire and it's not me, let me know so I can fight somebody.
yeah,
Um,
no, that's the thing is like nobody wants my name, so I've been very lucky so far.
yeah, anytime I see a new social platform, like I'm not gonna use it, but I'm at least gonna claim my name.
I was editing the first podcast the other day, and it was with Sumi because obviously Sumi got me and CEOs to do this podcast, and that was one of the things. Was like, I have a there's a MostlyKarl kick. She has a Sumi kick. Neither of us ever plan to use it because kick seems really bad and really predatorial. But I just don't want anybody to be on there with my name.
Yeah, I tried using Kick. It's really hard if you're into horror games unless you like strictly do Dead by Daylight. It's like
That seems to be the the Twitch meta as well. Like, I just do not want to play Dead by Daylight. I'll play the same game forever.
I don't want to put myself in such a tiny box.
Yeah,
Like horror, I feel like is big enough that I don't feel the need to go
that's what I
very
always
much
say.
outside of it.
Like that, and I even like shortened my box a little bit and said, "Oh, I'm just going to do story-based horror games," which doesn't limit me that much. But it's like it means when people say, "I'll play this game," I can go, "Is it a good story?" And they go, "Not really. I'm not going to play that. Forget that."
Yeah, I'll make exceptions for like special events if I'm like doing it with somebody,
Mm,
or I used to play like anything. So if someone was like, "Hey, you used to play like this particular game, can we like go back to it?" I'm like, for memory thing, I'll be like, "Yeah, sure."
yeah.
Um, I count Valorant as a scary game, so I play
I
that
see.
sometimes.
I can fall out as a horror game. I've bent that rule a little bit. I was like, it, it's got horror elements enough that I'm like, it counts.
The amount of times I get scared in Valorant is really high because someone that I'll be playing with friends, someone like I'll just die because I didn't see somebody, and I'll just like scream
And that'll
like it's
scare
a
the
horror
crap out of you.
game, and they're just like, "What happened?" I'm like, "I'm dead." They're in the middle of the map.
Right. Well, thanks for being on.
Oh, thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Anytime. I hope you enjoy your evening.
Thank you. You too.